Cloud. Share. Sorry for the lawnmower in the background, guys.
I don't hear it because the fan's going on in my kitchen, so I don't hear it.
Okay, good.
Don't hear it either.
I do.
The quiet lawnmower.
Okay. All right, so let's start from scratch. Okay, let's begin with the 10,000 foot view. And here's the thing. Always gauge it this way. Take off the realtor hat, become the homeowner. Always go through your seller process or your buyer process or your listing process as if you were fresh eyes, in the perspective of, hey, here I was randomly scrolling on Facebook, see an ad, click through the ad, boom, what's happening? Because if you don't begin there, because we're always thinking as realtors, well, why don't they, right? But instead, let's think ourselves as that Facebook user, right? We seeing the ad. Did I cut out here for a second? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Did I lose you?
I can hear you, but you're frozen.
It's cold up there.
Yeah.
Now we can't hear you.
No, he's gone.
You'll have to take over.
Oh, I'm new at this, so.
Here he comes. Still can't hear you, Marcus.
Now you can.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Technical difficulties. That's what happens when you live on an island. Okay, hopefully this doesn't, so here's, just to let you guys know, I'm not officially can you guys hear me? Are we cutting out? Are we good?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try to adjust as need be.
Sure. No problem.
This area that I'm in is not officially quote unquote mine yet. So I'll be taking possession in June. So I'm kind of having to adapt in the moment. Once I get it, there won't be this problem again. Trust me, I'll be going full forces in. Okay, we got Daniel Belgincourt in. So the key, guys, is going through the process itself as if you were the lead, and then starting to think of everything uniquely as what is the experience that I'm providing and how am I creating a discovery moment?
Mm-hmm.
If you really think of it that way, the best thing you could do is be genuine, be authentic, lead with value, but always ask something that can be answered, something that's short, sweet. You're looking for a dialogue, because if you can begin, that's why the SMS is such a key, vital thing here, because if Julie's sending out a text message and you get a response from it, it's really easy to take that conversation, even if you're overcoming objections, to take the conversation in your favor. But if you're not getting any response, how do you really know?
Mm-hmm.
So I always say your lead conversion should begin with a measurable process. Obviously, you want to create the experience, but it also should be one that you need to measure if that experience is getting you dialogue. If it's not, then maybe something in there that you really want to focus in on is having a tracking measure that not only tracks opens, but also tracking the plays, as well as the interactions with any type of links that you're pulling into that.
So that's the bomb, right?
That's the bomb in this case. But it does begin with StreetText giving you the automated show.
Yeah. Yes.
But that's just opens, right? And sometimes I don't take too much. I think opens are great, but at the end of the day, if those opens aren't creating any type of interaction, what does that really do?
Right.
Other than they got your message. So you got to think of it. It's a multi-layered step. It begins with lead generation. The lead generation naturally moves into process, because you start simply seeing that lead generation is not the hard part. It's the actual ability to connect with these people.
Mm-hmm.
And so then what you're looking at is, how do I create an experience to this person that makes them feel like they can talk to me? Because it all is all about having them get to know you, like you, and trust you. And then naturally, you're going to have people that are more guarded than others to even begin a discussion with you.
True.
So it's helping them always lead with value and help them communicate why they would want to talk to you. But if they don't, you're going to have your systems in place to naturally nurture them anyways.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, you know, I liked your example, Daniel, in the group when you shared the video in the StreetText Insider group, because I think there's so many different examples in there. You guys got to find something that resonates with you. You don't copy anybody, because at the end of the day, that feels good for them. That's natural for them. Look and gauge which one you feel most are able to identify with, and then make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as you feel like you're doing it and you feel scripted, that lead's gonna think you're scripted as well. Yeah. So if you don't look at the camera as if you were looking into that, you know, it's like, I always think about it this way. This is digital door knocking. So if you're using a home seller ad, you're kind of imagining for that moment that this door is being opened to that person individually, and you're connecting with that person. And you're helping them feel that they can talk to you about this problem. And so what you're saying in that moment is acknowledging that you're connecting with them to get them that home value, and you're helping identify why the internet's best guess isn't really what they need. And you can set that tone by just letting them know, hey, you could go to Zillow, you could go to Trulia, you can go to Realtor.com, you could go with them right now, and you could probably find a home value, but your home is unique.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's certain things that stand out, things that you love, things that you can't put into value context that we can have a quick discussion about. You guys know this more than anybody.
Yeah.
When I use my own example of my home, we put on the market for $599. We accepted an offer for $550, but it was really hard for us to talk to our realtors about what the true market value was, because of all the updates and renovations and how much sweat equity we put into that home. It's really hard because it's such an emotional tie into their home. So the value is so subjective some of the times, even though we have to be objective about it. It's one of the most emotional financial decisions we ever have to make. So if you speak to that individual that way, they're more likely to talk to you, rather than just simply producing CMAs or home values, or saying, you know, here's your home bot report.
Right.
So I find if you can lead with that way and then continue to build upon that, and that's why I think leveraging Facebook personally is a smart thing to do. Because if you look to make that connection, you're all about building that relationship with them. They're going to see so much more than somebody that's just joined out there to get their business. They're going to see somebody that actually genuinely cares, wants to get them information that's accurate. And then, you know, especially during these times, I think it's so imperative that we build compassion and empathy into these automations.
Mm-hmm.
We reflect what's truly going on in the mindset of everybody out there, and trying to figure out what is objective information. What can I actually rely on? Where is the market heading? Is my value affected? If I were to sell, perhaps I need to sell. I just don't know who I need to talk to about that. Can I trust you? Right? It's in the sense of, there's so much uncertainty for a lot of these people are out of jobs and so forth. So how they might be looking at this as their greatest equity right now, and they have to actually, unfortunately, sell their home. So I always think of it in that mindset, as we start with that type of approach and that messaging, and then we're looking to connect, and then naturally let our systems do what our systems do. But I actually think it's the first 72 hours that we have the greatest opportunity. So we got to think about the lead conversion side as, what does the first 72 hours look like? The first email that shoots out, the day 3 email, and everything in between. And what does it look like both on the automation side and then on the personal side as well? And then we have to find a consistent process with that, a measurable process, because you have to look at every single lead the same. At least from the moment that email comes in. You're going to have different strategies for the address onlys, and perhaps you have different strategies for when you get a phone number. But at the end of the day, phone number or not, they're still getting that auto email initially.
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you kind of use Julie to be more customized, like there's a thread in the group that's saying, well, some carriers look at that first text message as being a spam. And so they're getting the second text message instead. So what we're saying is go in there and customize that so it doesn't look spammy.
Mm.
That's the best thing you could do. And you should be doing that anyways, to be honest. Like it should be more customized to what you'd want to go out. And then acknowledging, I always say like you can add in text messages, you can edit them. You might want to point your second text message or even your first one be more about pointing back to what you know has already been sent via email. You know what I mean? Because that's where if you are creating the experience that you want them to have, that's where you want them to point back to.
Mm.
And Julie is just there to reinforce what you want to accomplish and why, you know, she's in the sense kind of helping edify you and overcome objections and pull out more information because you're role playing as Julie. Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, any questions? Because I'm kind of starting with the big view, and then we can kind of go into examples.
Mm.
But
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're saying we can actually edit what Julie's saying and customize it?
Yes, you can.
I haven't gotten into that yet. I mean, I've seen her reaching out on my behalf, but I'm not sure if I've looked into how to edit that.
I can show you.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah, so everybody, because you're in trial right now, it doesn't matter, regardless of where you're at in your account, you have abilities to customize everything. And so right now, the easiest way I could tell you for all of you guys, kind of a foolproof way of doing it is go to your funnels.
Oh, okay.
Go to My Funnels, because My Funnels is where your ads are actually sitting, especially the ones that are on.
Yep.
And all your automations are going to be the same, by the way, if you're running split tests with sellers. You don't have to run multiple automations. They're all the same. It's only when you're running different ads that you're customizing different automations. So for example, if I go to this ad that's running and click edit.
Yes.
Here's all the automations. And every single one of these, you can customize the time the communications are being sent.
Oh.
You can customize the actual email. So like, for example, the first email that goes out after submission, quick question. Here's where you'd want to customize it. So I know a question oftentimes people have is, well, why am I putting the video in and it's not getting played or it doesn't show up? It's because you're not using the Chrome extension. So everybody should be using Google Chrome as a browser. And then
I did. I moved my Gmail there.
Okay, perfect. And then when you use the BombBomb extension, you're basically clicking on the Chrome extension from BombBomb. It pulls down this little feature and you click on that video that you want to embed. And then you're essentially clicking copy HTML. There's a little button there. And then you're finding where you want to drag that in or put it in, and you're basically doing copy paste or command V, and then you're formatting that a little bit. Okay. And so it's now save, and then essentially what I have people do is just don't stop there. You save it, and then you go back into, I like to go to the ad, click on view link, and submit my information as if I were the lead really quickly, my address. Every time I make a change, I want to do that because I want to actually see live time.
Sure.
Hey, Marcus, I didn't see where you in the BombBomb app where you actually clicked on to drop it down into the funnel. Can you show me where that's at again?
Yeah. So starting from scratch again, the way to do it, I think, is, you can go to your emails or you can go to your automations. It's really easy to kind of figure out. You can either go to My Funnels, or if it's easier to go to here, you literally just click on that email that you want to edit, click edit. And then if I wanted to drop a video right in there, for example, I would go to BombBomb. I would I would have number one, Google Chrome as my browser. I would download the BombBomb Chrome extension from the store. It would show up in my URL on the right-hand side with all the other extensions that I have. I'd click on it, and then I would click on the video library with the video that I want pulled open. I would click copy HTML, okay? And then I would go into that area of the email and just paste it in it. I use Command V because I use a Mac, but you could use probably copy paste. And then it drops right in there. And then I would you know, use some spacing.
Yes.
And that would be basically my, you know, at least there on the very minimum, that's the creation, the experience.
That could be me. That's where I went to school.
What's that?
No, that my son's on a conference in the same room, but he just walked out. So just like we talked about yesterday on the boom, bomb, what is it? I got to get that straight. Okay, I've done the extension. I haven't created. So we're going to create basically a library of repeatable, use over and over. So that's why you were able to do that. So I haven't gotten that far yet.
You know what?
I've done.
You always think about the first few days, initial day and day 3, and then figure out what you're doing personally in between those 72 hours to actually create the process. Day 10, I had Wendy from Las Vegas do a day 10. She has it in the Insider group right now, where she just has a fun, where she says, hey, are we Facebook friends yet?
Oh, that's a good one.
Right?
Well, I haven't done day 3. I haven't created it yet. So I think I need to do that today. I need to try it.
Start simple. And then,
yeah, I have to.
But it doesn't, okay, you don't just drop in the video, because once you drop in the video, now you need to actually start looking at, is it being opened?
Right.
Is it being played? Am I putting too much information there? Am I getting any dialogue? Am I trying to go straight for the throat and get an appointment? Maybe it's too early, right? Remember that the time cycle naturally of Facebook leads is usually out. So the best way to approach this is more about value and discovery and making them feel like they can talk to you.
Yeah. So one other question. I mean, I know it sounds as though you're recommending that we personalize what the Julie dialogue to be us, but hasn't it been designed to be good enough in case we don't, other than, I mean, maybe after time, I'm just new at this. So maybe
yeah, no, I
time,
mean, it's great, but you'll quickly find that when you get into the community in the Insider group, some people are like, oh, they're getting a, just let me know if I can help text, but they're not getting my first text. And so it's the carrier that ultimately defines that. So
that's, yeah, okay.
If that carrier thinks it's an AI, it'll not send.
Okay.
So it just comes down to understanding. It may be that you just need to take out IE updates or essentially remove that type of language to kind of say something that you would naturally say. And then, and maybe just let me know if I can help, which shoots out 3 minutes later, or, it goes 3 minutes and then 11 minutes. Maybe you change that to say, hey, just want to make sure you received the email that we initially sent, from Daniel, from Paul, from Chad, the more personal you can make it, the better. That's the key on there.
Okay. Do the follow-up messages stop once a response is achieved?
The text messages too.
Okay.
So for email drips, they will go on indefinitely until you go to contacts. And let's just say I wanted to stop an email drip from happening. I would click down and I would turn that off. Remember, it's permanent. So once you actually remove them from that funnel automation, I'm not going to, don't worry. That's the key. So you're basically just clicking down on that contact and removing them from that automation. But as far as the SMS is concerned, the SMS automatically stops as they respond. But you can actually go in there and definitely continue conversations. I have clients all the time. That's how they bring leads back to life. Maybe 3 months goes by and you use Julie to see if they want an updated home value. Or you check back in, hey, just want to let you know, I know you were just curious, but you know, Daniel's in the area showing homes as we speak. He'd be happy to come by, you know, and just introduce himself for a complimentary walkthrough. Like I'm saying, you know,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it's indefinite what you could do once you understand that. Once the conversation is dialoguing, it's happening, even if it hasn't, you could always check back in, because eventually, you know, and sometimes it's also, you're going to learn that you're going to want to learn how to overcome objections. Julie's easy to overcome objections with, because you can always use Julie to apologize and create another conversation. Because if someone says, oh, no, sorry, I was just curious, that's where you want to come in and overcome that. Like, that just curious is an easy objection. You just got to learn just to steer back and, oh, you know, we apologize. You know, oftentimes people are just browsing Facebook, and they, you know, what we do is a da-da-da, right? And you're just giving them the options of connecting with you. Any questions on that, guys? I know this is, again, bigger picture type stuff, but it helps to kind of frame it in that way first and foremost. And I think a big takeaway is why you will all want to consider that, you know, a lot of people are choosing to accept that Facebook is going to be a living, breathing CRM.
Mm.
So when you think about where you can create influence in people's lives, it's on Facebook. They're already there, sometimes hours a day.
Yeah.
So you're paying Facebook right now. You're paying them to get that new audience, right? You're paying them for those clicks. So how do you bring those clicks into an organic environment where you can maintain influence? The only way to do that is to create influence personally in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Once they accept that friend request, and that now gives you their newsfeed, or you get their newsfeed, and you know,
Right.
and vice versa. So, and then also the idea of friends list becomes imperative, because now if you can develop a list of people and then start segmenting those lists, now you have complete command of a type and profile of person that you've created, and you will create content specifically to that feed, nowhere else. I mean, sometimes you're going to have a multiple feeds where you want everybody, but sometimes you're just speaking to that seller.
Mm.
But you already have created a list of 30, 40, 50 sellers in there. And so you can command that segment's audience, right? So that's why I'm so big on profiling these people, because if you actually friend request them, drop them into a list, and follow up with a personal Facebook message, and your automations reflect that you're going to do that as well, now you're just taking actions that are going to set you up for future success. And you're going to find there's always going to be a percentage of people that accept it and people that don't, but those people that do connect with you are the ones that you're going to really be focusing on right now. And you're going to still use that list to try to reconnect, because guess what? That list continues to build, and you could go into that list and you can see where that pending request is still standing. And the best thing you can do is cancel that request and resend it again. But your list is building, and you're going to be doing retargeting and with that pixel information anyways to stay in front of them. And if you're having a good mailer strategy, and you know, your drips doing their thing and so forth, I hear it all the time. The 3-month email goes out, then the 6-month email goes out, and all of a sudden you're like, this person never talked to me. I did everything, and they respond to this boring email. It was just on their time. They were ready. Yeah. It's their time. Remember, everybody, this is their timeline. Mm-hmm. And everybody has different timelines. Can you imagine? I click on an ad. I have 3 kids, and they're on the way. My life is crazy busy. I've been updating my home. You know, perhaps I really wanted to get some more information. I just didn't have the mental capacity at that time. But I love the value you're giving me, the content, the tenacity, and the, you know, genuinely trying to connect with me. But I connect with you 3 months down the line, because that's when I finally have a breath of air that I can actually look into this thing. So you can't ever take anything personally in this type of lead gen. Mm-hmm. But you have to be consistent with delivering value and personalizing the content, and looking at every single lead as you're connecting with that person. That's why I love the bomb screen recording, because you can personalize it and walk them through where you want them to go. You can have an image of their home. You can say, hey, I'm on your Facebook. I just wanted to make sure you connect. By the way, you know, if you can go to your message request folder, it's right here. This is where the messages stay until we're connected. And I'd love to continue the conversation back on Facebook. I can get you some great stuff. I can send you audio messages, voicemail. Like there's so much you can do with Messenger once you get that connection. Right? So for me, I love email to create the experience, but then I drive them where I want that experience to go. Hopefully that makes sense.
It does. It's just a shift in probably what we're all familiar with.
Yeah, right now we're having to shift. I mean,
Yeah.
adaptability is key in this climate. And kind of acknowledging anyways, this is where everything is going.
Mm-hmm.
Virtually connecting is where we want it to go. I mean, I'm even having tomorrow's mastermind, Logan has been working with Facebook ads that go directly into Calendly and create a virtual connection. Because you guys know when you book here or you book through Calendly, it can set it up automatically to go in your calendar and then into Zoom. So you want to create processes that kind of like seamlessly move into the direction where you like it to go, and everything is moving virtually. So if you can communicate how to connect those leads to virtually talking to you and figure out how to do that well, that's going to be the end game there.
Yeah.
So it's always pointing to like connecting and looking at every single lead that comes in as the opportunity to connect face to face, leveraging technologies. And always just always should communicate just genuinely why they'd want to do that, as opposed to getting a generic wide open or a list of properties or you name it. Because everybody, you think about the call to action. The call to action is simply to get them to open their door, but they're looking for so much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, even if you're using the list of properties in Austin under $499 with a pool, like that's not what they're looking for. I mean, that was maybe on the surface, but there's so much more to what they're looking for in a home. And it's up to you to discover that and help understand why they'd want to actually meet with you to get that information.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing to go on the just curious or the leads that come in looking to see if they can sell their home for or what their home is worth. There's more to that. But that's the tip of the iceberg. You got to go really think about discovering what's truly underneath that and what's driving them for future decisions, where they want to go if they were to sell, et cetera, et cetera. So they just got to feel like that you're somebody that they can talk to about it. And so the key is to create the experience from the moment they submit that email, and it all begins with the first email they open. That's your very first impression.
Mm-hmm.
And the first text they get if they send them a phone number. And then what you're personally going to be sending up and what your process is. Because if you look at someone like Stacy Sebastian, it's HomeBot intro. And it's identifying how to use HomeBot. Because you don't want to just pull them into HomeBot and they're like, well, what's HomeBot? Why are you giving me this? You need to help frame in what they're going to learn from getting a HomeBot report, for example, as if you're going in that direction, right?
I've never heard of that before.
It's cool. It's something worthy of looking into at $1 a day, especially when you consider they get monthly reports. It's got extremely high open rates and interaction. They're doing a direct Zapier integration right now that they're betaing right now, which will make it easy. It'll acknowledge things like equity and even Airbnb. And it's just super cool. I mean, I think if anything, and they can tweak the value, which means they don't like what they're seeing. That's where you come in and set up the appointment. So it's just one of those things that if you're looking for ongoing nurturing, one of the best things to consider at $1 a day. It's hard to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the home value part, right? That's just the seller side. But I think it just begins. Sometimes we get overzealous about lead generation without sometimes acknowledging it's the process itself that we need to focus on first and foremost. Mm-hmm. Create the experience you want them to have, and then turn up the ad budget. Because if you do it from the opposite side, you're always backpedaling. So The StreetText Academy course is loaded with stuff like that. Our StreetText Insider group is loaded with stuff like that. Our masterminds every Wednesday are probably I wouldn't say a non-negotiable, because if you're really coming to those meetings, you find that people that are due and are consistent with those are the ones that are winning. You know, like Jessica McIntyre was on the same meeting last week, and she's the same one that did 12 transactions in 11 months. She was in her first year of real estate, literally 3 months in, and she's done 12 transactions, $9 a day ad budget, 11 months into StreetText. All sellers. But what she did was consistently stay in front of someone and was very bubbly, right? Let me just pull up an example. Let's just use her.
Bubbly.
Let's just use her. If I can find her.
What's her name?
Jessica McIntyre.
Oh, Jessica. That's awesome, actually. Good for her.
Ah. Okay, here you go. I'm gonna pull up her autoresponder. And let's just like we'll use her first automations as an example that everyone can kind of take something away from. Stacy Sebastian's another one that I really like in terms of what she's done. And it's just not worrying about when these deals come. The deals come as long as you're leading with value. It's about creating a massive database that you have influence over and continue to influence. And you find that these sellers become buyers and they refer you out based on the continued value and experience you're providing them.
Right.
As soon as they smell or feel like you're trying to just take their business, they're gone. So that's super important to acknowledge in how you create, starting with the very first experience you're providing. So when I go to her emails, I'm going to show you a quick example. We'll start with the very first email that she's got. Okay, number one, here it is. After submission, quick questions. So what are we going to acknowledge about this one? Number one, she's got a little home emoji, and it says, received your Facebook request from Facebook for your home valuation, and I'm on it, personal video included. She put with a little video emoji. Now you got to kind of test these up eventually. And then when you look at records, then you're going to go into this idea. So what is it actually saying? So here she is. It's got her email signature that's always sending out a thing with her information, email, website, personal Facebook, and a small little quote. But also what you see with her is she's asking 4 questions. What do you love most about your home? How long have you lived there? Have you done any renovations or updates recently? And what would you consider the best feature of your home? 4 great questions, I think. Now let's just watch the video.
Hi, Jessica McIntyre here with Berkshire Hathaway. And I just wanted to, first of all, take a quick moment and thank you so much for taking the time to fill out the home valuation via Facebook. I am going to go ahead and do a CMA based on the internet's findings that I can find online. Again, that is a 30,000 foot view, right? Because I haven't had a chance to go into your house. So I will give you quite a bit of a range. There are some questions that I listed down below. So go ahead and fill that out for me. That'll give me even more information that I can go ahead and provide you some more accurate numbers. Those accurate numbers are really important, especially if you're looking to sell or refi in the future. So again, if you have any other questions for me, please feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, I'm on it and I'll get that CMA to you as soon as possible. Thanks and have a great day.
Okay, so what do you guys think of that one?
Well, if she's getting a response from it, it's great. But it doesn't look difficult.
No, it's
That's
not.
not difficult. She was just herself.
Just
That's what,
herself.
I mean, I
That's
don't
all
know her, but I get a sense, yeah, approachable.
It's super easy.
She's not trying to sell them.
Nope.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes across as, right? Like it just, that's it. Genuine and being someone of value and just really easygoing and helping them identify why they'd want to talk with her. And so you're going to look at, let's see what else we can find here for you. so that's the first email going out. So if you go back to that, then she's got another day 3 email. And her day 3 email, there's another one, right? So this one on day 3, it says home valuation information. So this is assuming that she's already created a process between that first email and the day 3. And so she's got another video that says, hey, I hope you received my home valuation, like what you saw. If you have any questions or anything else that I need to know about your home to be able to provide you with a more accurate estimate, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be happy to help. So let's see what she has to say here. And with that, I think you can see, like, if you start making those first few contacts, the priority there, that's where it kind of gets fun. So here you go.
Hi, Jessica McIntyre here with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and I just wanted to quickly follow up and just see if you had any questions about the home valuation that I was able to send out to you regarding those numbers. Remember, this is because I haven't been in your home, so there is quite a wide range that I have listed below. But if you'd like some more accurate numbers, which is really important moving forward if you're thinking about selling your home or refinancing in the future, is to really get those accurate numbers. Of course, that 30,000-foot view, such as Zillow, HomeBot, all those other ones, Redfin, you know, they haven't had a chance to go inside your house, so they don't see the updates. They don't know if you have any outbuildings, how many acreages you have, and so forth. So again, those all add value to your home. So if you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, I look forward to meeting you soon. Thank you.
Right. So what we're concentrating on is the first 72 hours. Now, she's got her own process of connecting with them. And I know Jess, she's probably reaching out to him through Facebook. She's probably sending them something personal from her BombBomb, something acknowledging the value. Because if you look the way she actually does the value, in this case, she's not using HomeBot actually. She's just recently gone to it. Before, it was more along the lines of this one, in the sense of like, hey, Steve, you submitted your information on the home valuation regarding your property at 631 Southwest Terrace. And I'm on it, or this in this case, they are saying, I did the research on the homes that recently sold in your local neighborhood, and without looking at your home, I'm able to provide you with the internet's best guess. And she leaves it wide open, anywhere from 265 to 303. So this would be the personal follow-up. After you've had the automation, you do a personal follow-up. You pick a wide open number, anywhere from X to Y, right? Keep it as wide open as possible, which really drives them to talking to you. And then basically she said, but I can do better than this. So if you like a figure you can count on that is custom to your home, it's only going to take a 15-minute walkthrough of your home to see the current condition. You know, in this case, you can use language like a virtual walkthrough. I can even show you how to do that. And I promise no long PowerPoint presentations. Let me know if this time works for you. Again, just a small example. I'm not saying you do that, but you can see there's a process between the automations, the personalized, and then the one that she sends out 72 later. So if you figure out what the first 72 hours of both automation and personal process is, it makes a lot more sense of why she would take that route. Do you understand?
Yes.
All the meanwhile, you're profiling people out yourself, right? You're sending friend requests, you're dropping them into lists, and so forth. And the key is, you might like personally reach out to them and even use the BombBomb screen recording and say, hey, just want to make sure this is you. I looked up home records. I'm on your Facebook. Like, this is where it becomes powerful to use BombBomb screen recording, because now you can have a few tabs open and you could be walking them through how you arrived to these values and why meeting with you would be best option for them. And you can still have your 72-hour one go based on that video that she created, right? So you're still getting the automation drip. And then day 10 would be like, hey, are we Facebook friends yet? And you could do all this, but it's all contingent on the process you develop early on. Question.
So yes, so when you say you have various tabs open and you're doing the BombBomb, would I'd be videotaping, but I'm not showing them what my tabs are, but I can refer to them. I'm telling them, oh, this is open and I'm looking at such and such. I can see that.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? Is that what you mean?
What I mean by that is, like, you're seeing what's on my screen right now. So it's no different than when you're shooting a BombBomb video with screen recording. You're actually, you're there in the bottom corner, wherever you want yourself to be.
Oh, okay.
Or you actually can be just a voice. You can exit yourself out of that altogether. And you could be like, hey, I'm just on your home right now. I pulled it up on Google. Just wanted to actually have a few quick questions before I send over this home to you, right? I did my research. Zillow thinks your home is worth this. Realtor.com is estimating it closer to this. Trulia, like you can have different tabs. Oh, and by the way, I'm on your, you know, I sent you a friend request,
Oh, I
right?
like that.
So you actually have a folder called message requests, and it's actually sitting in there because we're not friends yet, right? So you're personalizing the experience.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
to me.
it is very amazing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Now
So-
I get it. I get
so
it.
you
You
can
mentioned
see
that
why-
yesterday, but now I get it better.
So you can
Okay.
see why, like, what do we all love to hear? Our name, number one.
Yeah.
So when you're reaching out to someone personally, put it in their name in the subject line, put their address in the subject line, name and address.
Mhm. Okay.
Then what else do they like to see? Anything that's theirs. If you put an image of their home as your screenshot on that screen recording, they're going to be like, why is my home in this email? Number one, I need to open this and see what's it all about. And then again, you've got their attention. So really it comes down to what you have to say and why they'd want to talk to you based on what you have to say.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's always thinking about them and their perception and in their experience, and always framing the context of text and wrapping around it, the video, because you got to remember, some people will get that email and they might not have the opportunity to watch that video right there. So you want to make sure that the context surrounds it so they can refer back to it and want to click on it at a later time. Because sometimes they'll click on it, right? And they're like, well, why am I just getting a random video? And so you might make sure that you're acknowledging what is in that video, and then creating, you know, a reminder through the bottom. Like it's all got to wrap up in case they can't watch it in that moment. You know, you can even set bullet points on like what you did in that video. There's just so many ways around this, but it's just kind of practicing, and that's why we have masterminds, right? So we can all practice this together. And you know, even these conversion classes itself, there'll probably be some sort of method to this moving forward. But right now I'm kind of just filling it out based on what you guys need, and everybody's going to be uniquely, you know, some people have been with us for a while, some people are brand new, everybody has different experiences. But I think the key is we're all trying to figure out how to begin conversations with these leads so we can really gauge their timeline and where they're going, what they're wanting to accomplish. If they're looking to sell, are they just curious? Are they refinancing? I think it's at the end of the day, we're just trying to give value their way. And then be somebody they can trust. So no matter what happens, what if they even have a realtor already, but their experience was so awesome that they want to just tell someone about the experience they had. In many ways, you might be the first bomb video they have ever received. This is still a very new technology for a lot of people. So you're kind of a trendsetter in many ways based on how you're formatting this information, and then basically how you're getting them that information and continuing to give them information. Like in some of these ways, you're also, you're going to be teaching a lot of people how to use technology to virtually connect. They may be so forever grateful just to know that that's available to them, especially in these times.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
just some thoughts there. Any specific questions? Raquel, I don't know if you can unmute yourself. I think you asked something about good questions I haven't said in my bomb. Chrome, is there any way to sort the manage email section? Looks simple and easygoing. Yeah.
Hey, sorry, I've got a phone in my ear, so.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, but yeah, I just was curious when you were in the manage email section, you know, it starts with month 9, month 6, month 3, and then you're at day 38. It seems to go in kind of an order, but I didn't know if there was a way to sort and I was just missing it.
At the moment, I think it's pretty, so I think the easiest way to look at it, instead of even going in the email section again, is going to your funnels and then going to my funnels.
Right.
And if you go to my funnels, these are where your ads are sitting. So let's just say you had an ad that you have turned on, you click edit and you just make your changes from what there. So when you look at this whole funnel asset or all the automations, you're basically going down and you're clicking on whatever email you want to. So here's the first one. Here's a day 3. If I wanted to edit this one, I'm going straight into there, right?
Okay.
day 10. Even she's got a day 10.
Now, okay. Hold on. I think I'm just getting
We're
used
We're in
to
the
the way
same
it's
thing.
set
I
up.
wonder if she filmed all these at the same time.
She probably did. She probably
Yeah.
just decided, okay, here's what my process is going to be. Here's what I
Yeah.
want them to get based on the process I'm going to be delivering with them, right?
Yeah.
So it's so important to think about, you know, if you know what your process is going to be, then you can easily start thinking about what you want day 3, day 10, day 17, and so forth, because naturally you just want to stay in front of them and always give them the option to connect with you. So I would always have some sort of link to connect with me.
Now, I might have missed it just because of the format on my computer. When you're in the emails, when you go in your funnel and you click at it to see what's sent in what order, how did you open that email? Because I'm looking through mine now and I'm
Yes.
trying to, yeah.
So when you're in the, like, again, I go to funnels and then I go to my funnels.
Right, I'm there. Like I'm past
right
the
here,
edit screen. Yeah.
right? My funnels. And then let's just say I click on any one of these. So I'll click edit on there, and then I'm
Right.
taken into this. And then I just scroll down, and this one, which is send email after submission quick question, I just click on it and it opens up.
Okay.
So,
oh, there it is. Okay, mine just took a minute. Gotcha. So you just click into space.
Yep, that's
Gotcha.
right.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. And that's it. Right? Because guys, like, this is it. Like, because if you focus on this, then the lead generation part of it, that's the easy part, right? Remember, StreetText has done hundreds and thousands of ads. Like, your marketplace is unique to your marketplace, but at the end of the day, you're always going to find a lead model. You might have to split test a little bit more to find that lead model, because every market's going to be unique and different, whether you're in Beverly Hills or you're in Fargo or wherever. Your marketplace is not just dealing with ads and real estate, is dealing with every advertiser out there. So sometimes you're just naturally having to spend more money to get in front of people because that marketplace is so saturated with advertising.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean you can't find a cost-effective model. And that's why we actually have you put your commission in, because it's contingent to the average home sale within that area. So you can't compare yourself to somebody that's getting, 5 emails per $10, because your market might be unique and getting you 1 email per $10, but you're also getting $1 million home sold. So, right, $30,000 commission versus their $3,000.
Yeah, true.
You're going to naturally spend 10 times more if in that case. And we kind of gauge this in the idea of the biggest fruit of your labor is going to be 6 months to a year down the line on a system like this. Because the natural time cycle of everybody here is usually far out. Doesn't mean you can't get leads like cream rises to the top. So naturally, if you're really good at getting them to understand objectively if they even have the option of selling right now, because they might want to, but they just might not know that they could sell right now. And so they're just going to naturally sit back and wait for mainstream media to tell them what they want to hear, which is not what they should be hearing.
Correct.
Right. So in many ways, you are the truth that these people need to see, and you need to position yourselves as that, and they need to be able to trust you in the midst of a lot of uncertainty and fear and anxiety naturally that's being presented in front of them, to help them truly give them an understanding of what's even possible at this moment. Any questions on that, guys? I know we're kind of nearing the end of the year, but feel free to chat, to open it up, ask away. And you can always personally message me too on Facebook.
I have to play with things before I have more questions.
Yeah, it is. It's playing. And then remember too, what I find, like Jennifer Salter is a great example. She talks about it in the in our masterminds and sometimes the insider group. When you're not getting an open on an email and you're sending video, then send it again from your personal email and use that extension to track it. And if you're still not getting opens from there, I find you want to send it from within BombBomb. She always finds a way to get an open and a play. So it's like, don't settle on anything other than getting results, in the sense of like, you need to go make sure that whatever you're sending is being opened, the message is clear, genuine, and there's a call to action and there's questions being asked. And when you're not, send another one, right? Like, we had a gal that used to say, no is just not yet, right? Because they don't know the true value that you have to offer until they get to know you. So the key is you need to be tenacious in your pursuit of that relationship.
So for me, I'm going to practice with the bomb. I haven't set it up yet, but I've done the Chrome. My Gmail's through Chrome now because I was using Firefox. I've done the extension, like I said, of the bomb. So I just now need to, I guess, create an account.
Yeah.
Start practicing.
Start practicing. That's it, right? People like, my wife has a sign back here that says raw, real, relatable. Don't worry about, like, even Jessica had ums and stuff in it. Like, it's better to be someone who's okay with making mistakes than someone who's trying to be perfect.
Exactly.
You're not. People like someone they can relate to. Don't try to have your suit on and have this perfectly script out. Just be real.
Yeah.
Be relatable. Because that's what they're going to be identifying to be able to talk to you and feel like, oh, this is a person that's genuinely looking to help me and give me great information. And use things that you can relate to. Why do you profile people? So you can see if you have mutual friends, likes, interests. It's so easy to build rapport when you have something to talk about initially. It doesn't even have to be about their home. Like, hey, I'm on your Facebook. I'm a da-da-da fan too, right? You know what it is. It's like, we all need to go back and read that book, Winning Friends and Influencing People.
Mm-hmm.
Just connection, rapport. And some people are more natural than others, but I think that if you just make it all about them, and there's no me in it, always point it back for them, you're gonna do fine.
Well, with also with Facebook, you'd probably be surprised that you might even have a mutual friend or two or three with the, not 6 degrees of separation anymore.
Yeah, there you go. Always. That's true.
Yeah.
And then you have mutual friends. You'd be like, hey, John, can you send a quick message? I just got a home valuation request from your buddy, da-da-da, right? Put in a good word for me. I'll take you out for a beer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay. Thanks, Marcus.
All right, Arthur, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And for anybody else that tomorrow's mastermind, we'd love to have you there. It's at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Remember, all our classes, Calendly/StreetText. They're all there. So just Calendly/. Yeah, go ahead.
So the Calendly, is that something then I also should subscribe to? I don't have it, but yeah. Okay. So integrate, I got to learn how to integrate that, but maybe I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, just take it in small steps. There's other booking engines out there, but I like Calendly. I love it. It makes it really, once you set it up, you can ask them questions as they book. It automatically goes into your calendar. You could wake up, you could have bookings. It's pretty cool. And it's all ties into Zoom, right? Which is where we want to have meetings.
Okay. Okie dokie.
All right, guys. Thank you. Talk soon.
Have a great day. Bye.